Hey there, my name is Chris Mango, and I'm the creator of Mango Mischief, a satirical, retro-style JRPG that's available for PC on Steam. If you're watching this video, you're about to see me playing my own game, showing off shortcuts and going into detail about the development process and intentions with essentially every aspect of Mango Mischief. So I think it's fair to say spoiler alert. If you'd like to play my game before watching this, the Steam link is in the description. I hope you enjoy my playthrough and commentary. Alright, hello. I am Chris Mango, and I'm super excited to do a playthrough of Mango Mischief, mainly because I've never done a recorded playthrough of any game ever, let alone of the game I created. First of all, before we begin, credits. Shout out to everyone here, especially Kickstarter backers, and also any of my beta testers, any of my play testers, Artem, Reefleaf, Aces, Bestiary, everyone else who just made my game way better than it would have been if I just tried doing it on my own, just based off of feedback from myself. Those extra perspectives were super helpful. Jumping straight into the new game. So, terms of use starts. Things I never thought that I'd be actually learning a little bit about when I was creating this game. How to make a terms of use, how to form an LLC, how to make a Kickstarter, how to make a game on Steam, copyright law, trademarking and registered trademarking, all of that. Never thought I'd have to actually do any research with these different topics, mainly because I was never originally intending on actually selling this game. General photosensitivity warning, even though I did lower the intensity of the lights, the bright and flashing lights in the game. I wasn't originally intending on selling the game, but as more and more people got interested in the game from just talking about it, they started asking me where they could play it, where they could access it, how they could buy it. And I kind of slowly ran out of good reasons to not learn a little bit more about the selling aspects of it. So here's the introduction. It's essentially three of the same kind of parallax maps. You can kind of see a transition from morning to day to evening. The music is getting softer and softer and softer. I'm hoping you can hear the music behind my speaking. And so now the music is slower still. The same type of kind of sad song representing Marion's, at least Marion's beginning. I don't really do voices, but I guess we'll see what happens with the different characters in the game. I do want to read through all the dialogue, so I'm going to go through every aspect of this entire game. I'll show you a bunch of shortcuts along the way, but I do want to read through the dialogues. Obviously, I won't be laughing at my own jokes, because I have played through this game about 20-25 times already. What do you think, Lily? Mom's never coming to pick me up, is she? Maybe I should see what other girls actually do to pass the time. I could use a little break from writing in my journal anyway. So obviously I have full access of Marion right here. If I click on the journal, it says maybe I should talk to all the other girls before writing anything else in my journal. There's 8 girls here. Last time I checked, there were 8 other girls here. So I want to make sure I talk to everyone. Hi there, what's your name? Hey, I'm Marion. Are you sure? What kind of question is that? It's interesting to me that out of all the names to create, everyone always picks Marion. I mean, my mom came up with my name. I didn't really have a say in the decision, but I'm happy with it. Are you sure you don't want to customize your name to something other than Marion? Are you suggesting that I change my name to something that reflects my personality so that other people can better understand and connect with me? If that's what you want, then sure. Nah, I'm good. Besides, I don't want to spend an hour figuring out what to name myself. So obviously we start off with the fourth wall break. You don't get to choose the names of the characters. There's also a little bit of a calculus Easter egg. I'm purposely leaving the mouse up so I can point to different aspects of the screen. A little calculus Easter egg for anyone who knows the delta epsilon formula at the bottom right. We have the for all epsilon greater than 0, there exists a delta ... Fair enough. And that's that. You're Marion. This girl is busy chatting with her friends. Hey, how's everything going? You can talk? Huh? Yeah, of course I can talk. Oh, I just assumed you were some sort of silent protagonist or something. Nope, I've even got a personality too. That's a relief. Everything's great. Looking forward to my mom picking me up soon. I'm really happy for you. Thanks. By the way, you can have the dialogue go faster. If you send your message speed, if you press to the right one more time, you can go up to instant, which really helps you scroll through everything. If I just hold down spacebar, or just hold down my left click or whatever the controller button is if you're using a controller. You can really skip through any necessary dialogue. But I'm going to switch back to message speed of 10, just because I don't want to accidentally start scrolling through everything. I want to make sure I'm reading as much as I can remember. This girl is busy playing with her teddy bear. She's asleep over here, catching some Z's. 3 more to talk to. This girl is talking about how she's looking forward to seeing her family again. What's wrong? What makes you think anything's wrong? Well, you never play with us, and I overheard you talking to your bear about how you miss your mom. Plus, the background music is really slow and sad right now. What background music? Never mind, but I hope everything's okay. Thanks. So, really laying it on thick that Marion is lonely. You'll also notice that most of the maps, including this room, has a lot of symmetry. We'll talk more about the symmetry of my maps in a little bit. So now we've got a little self-switch opening up a slightly different dialog box. Day 9, maybe today will be the day. Also, little shout out to Day 9. I'm a big StarCraft fan, so there's a lot of these little personal Easter eggs in here too, little personal references from other games and other famous people that I'm giving shout outs to. Girls, come downstairs. Your parents are here. Door slams in Marion's proverbial face. Again, you've got to exit here. Every other door is locked away for now. We'll have access to this later. Here comes Lady Loot, pronounced Loot. Oh, hello, Marion. Your mother wanted me to tell you that she wasn't going to be able to pick you up today. Of course she said that. I'm sorry, sweetie, but she said that she had to go to the castle again. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, maybe. I doubt it, though. If she won't come to me, then maybe I should go to her. A new main quest has been added to your journal. So, of course, the journal is accessed in the pause menu. Probably the most important piece of feedback I got at the very, very early stages of creating my game was that I should make a journal, because originally I didn't have one, which would have been a huge pain in the neck for any player who plays the game for a little bit, puts it down for a day or a week or a month, and comes back and forgets where they're supposed to be going. So spent a lot of time creating this journal. Even beta testers hadn't seen like the color coding aspects or all the different intricacies of this journal. Some of these are newer additions. Marion's Devastation, the first main quest of the game. Speak to everyone you encounter, and have Marion head to the castle so that she can search for her mother. Everything's back to normal here. I have always dash on, by the way, which means any location that I can dash, I will be dashing. In other words, running as opposed to just walking. Command Remember. A Command Remember is when you're in battle and you have multiple skills to choose from as far as what attack you want to do next. If Command Remember is on, then the last skill you chose, like for your last attack, it'll still be highlighted next time around. That way you don't have to scroll all the way through all the skills again to get back to the same attack if you want to kind of, maybe spam the same water spell over and over again if you're attacking a fire enemy or something. That just saves a little bit of time. I'm going to keep the battle animation speed on normal. If you are trying to speedrun the game, definitely switch to speedrun. The battle animation speed increases from normal to fast to zoom to finally speedrun, where you're basically just skipping all the animations. I want to keep the animations on at their normal duration, at least for this walkthrough, to show you what a normal walkthrough would look like. And that's essentially it. Let's talk to everyone else pretty quickly. Mommy, I missed you. I can't wait to go see Daddy. Can we all play together when we get home? Sure, honey. It'll be good to spend some quality time together. Again, yay. Again, all of these families meeting up, parents and daughters meeting up, and you don't. Did you two have fun today? Yes, we did. Tons of fun. Can't wait to come back next week and see everyone again. Yes, we'll get to make more friends. I'm so happy for you both. Let's head home now. This is Lord Loot, Lady Loot's husband. Hey there, kiddo. What a beautiful day. Yeah, Mr. Loot? Yes? Do you know when my mom is coming? Not that I expect anyone to know. I know it's tough, but hang in there. I'm sure she'll be back in a few days. But it's been 9 days already, and she does this all the time. I know, kiddo. When she dropped you off, she said she was going to run an errand for the king. I'm sure she'll be back before you know it. You'll always have a place here with us for as long as you need it. What I need is to find Mom. This group over here says you can overhear, or the information you get from this group over here says you can overhear an excited conversation about something. It's too bad you're not a part of it. It looks like a mother and daughter finally getting to spend some quality time together. Here's some mango trees in the back. These will be very, very relevant throughout the game. They're having a wonderful discussion, a wonderful family discussion. Again, you can see the symmetry of the maps here. I know one criticism, some totally valid feedback I got, is that some of the maps are too symmetrical. It doesn't look natural, right? Things aren't kind of scattered around randomly. Everything seems to be very neatly ordered. That was, for the most part, just a design choice by me. I like the symmetry. It's probably the fact that I'm a math teacher. I like seeing symmetry. I like having structure in general, and I kind of wanted to bring that into most of the maps. Most of the maps you'll see have arguably too much symmetry. Everything looks like it was perfectly set up, perfectly structured. Signpost says, "From flowers and mangoes to playrooms and toys, this daycare promotes sharing all of the joys. The adored lord and astute Lady Lute chaperone children without a dispute." Each of my signposts are designed to, well, first of all, satiate my hunger for adding a little bit of poetry and rhyming and writing there, but also to provide a little bit of insight, maybe some tips as to what to expect in a specific region. To the south is where forest fiends fight faultless fellows. Why would one ever go there? To the north is where Lord and Lady Lute live lavishly. Why would one ever leave there? So as you can see here again, lots of wordplay throughout the entire game. This is just what you would be expecting to see as you move through all of Mango Mischief. Hey you! If you're heading off on an adventure, reading the signs posted around the world may help you learn about the treasures and the dangers that await you. And please be careful in the forest. At least let me heal you first. So I was at full health. Okay, you're all set. If you ever feel overwhelmed in battle, you can always try to escape. You've completed a tutorial for your journey. I was at full health. As you can see here, I've got a full 100 HP and a full 30 MP magic points. But I did want to show right off the bat that this is someone you can talk to whenever you want to heal. You can do it again if you want. Because we're about to go into a region where you'll have encounters. I wanted to show that you can heal. I wanted to show where you could heal before you even get into an encounter first. That way, if you feel overwhelmed, you can always go back. I set an encounter to be right at the very beginning here. It'll be just one yellow Zuppy. The basic battles early on are just focused on, 2, maybe 3 shots. Marion can 2-shot these yellow Zuffies. You get experience. In fact, you get half an experience bar on literally your first battle of the game. Here's a boulder, which we'll talk more about the 8 magic boulders later on. This seems to be a large enchanted boulder. You could probably break it apart into smaller rubble if you had the right tools. The encounter rate in this place used to be way too high. I lowered it since. The forest greenery and florist scenery provide a backdrop for your first battle's greenery. How convenient you start where the monsters are small. Anywhere else and you'd make no progress at all. Again, it always seems to be extremely convenient that you never start at level 1 in the hardest area of the game. You always start at level 1 at the beginning of the game, where the enemies are always easiest. I set another not random encounter, but a designed encounter to hit 2 yellow Zuffies here. So you're going to end up having at least 2 battles. Of course, you can escape if I press the escape button or right-click. I can switch out of the fight function to attempt to escape. Escape has a 25% chance of succeeding on the first try, and then every failed attempt increases it by an additional 25%, from 25, then 50, then 75, then 100. So you're guaranteed to escape by the 4th attempt, which might seem like a lot of attempts if there's just one character, but very, very quickly you get a full team of 4 characters. And so if Marion fails her escape, then the next person attempting to escape, who might come right after Marion, would have a 50% chance, then 75, then 100. So it's really just the entire party escaping one at a time guarantees that the battle will be over one way or another. But let's just fight these to get some experience. I'm just doing a basic attack right now. Every character starts with a skill. I wanted to make sure that you started with something, but it's a TP skill based on your technical points. As you can see, when I deal damage, my TP will increase by 10, from 30 to 40, from 40 to 50, etc. Once I get a full TP bar, a full TP meter, which is kind of like a Final Fantasy VII Limit Break or a Final Fantasy X Overdrive, I can use Devastation, which is Marion's kind of special TP ability, for average physical attacks aimed at random enemies. So that does mean that I can attack the same enemy more than once, but I can overkill on an enemy, and by that I mean maybe I can kill this enemy in 2 hits, but if I use Devastation, I'm going to be wasting all 4 of my shots on the same enemy. There's no guarantee it would skip to a different enemy. So there's a little bit of risk versus reward there. It's the randomness that makes things a little bit more dynamic with Marion. So 2 hits of the first yellow Zuffy, 2 hits of the second yellow Zuffy, and we get a level up. Acquired skill, again, the first level up you get a new skill, just to start having more and more skills. Trip up to decrease the agility of an enemy. Might not be super useful early on, but as you progress through the game, especially if you verse like one very, very strong monster at a time, casting Trip Up and getting to attack more frequently because the enemy is slowed can be super useful. You'll also see we jump up 50 HP and 10 MP, not that we're really using magic points just yet. This is just to get a feel in general for the enemies without overwhelming with too many things like rewards, loot, gold, items to equip. You can exit the Southwest Forest through the bottom right here, or there's another exit here. I purposely wanted to have 2 exits just as a little bit of a reward for taking the time to look, because it'll save a bunch of time just going north and south over here when we go back and forth through the loot's mansion area. Once we break down that boulder, we'll have quick access where you won't have to worry about any other random encounters. The path ahead is far too dangerous for a child to explore by herself. You really should find an adult. I'm trying to find the castle since my mother works with the king. Can't you see the giant castle on the map? Can't you be a little more helpful? To get to the castle, travel east and then north through the central forest. Please be careful, little girl. Thanks. So we'll skip the town down here for now. We'll eventually walk through that with Merrow, but let's go through with Marion and then with Iraq. Yellow or green or blue or red, the same strength monsters will end up dead. Be careful when they're larger and purple and pink. They may give you more trouble than you think. So a little bit of a nod to the fact that you'll be versing yellow Zuffies, green, blue, and red Zuffies, but there are larger purple and pink monsters in this area, which I believe I named them Zoofers, which are stronger than the regular Zuffies. Down here we'll verse 3 green Zuffies. Marion got the upper hand. She gets to attack first before the normal battle sequence, so she actually gets to attack twice in a row. Marion has the highest agility, at least base agility, out of the 4 playable characters, so she's likely to be the first person to attack on your side. Sometimes enemies are faster, sometimes enemies are slower. I want to show you the kind of overkill situation here. So if I use Devastation here, it'll pretty much be wasted. Critical hit 2. She also has a pretty high luck stat, and the higher the luck stat is, the more likely it is to land a critical hit, which does double damage, I believe. Level 3. More HP. I purposely had this guy walk around because I want you to kind of run into him a little bit. Let me go back through and check out the dialogue. Can you believe that some travelers don't constantly save their progress? Why would they want to risk losing all their hard work? Anyway, you should go inside and rest. Let Jaeger know that I'm fine. The fact that I force you to literally go through this area 3 times with 3 different characters makes it very likely, I think, that you're going to talk to this guy and be like, oh yeah, maybe I should at some point save my game. Because way too many people simply don't save their game. And you lose all your progress. That could be kind of annoying. This playtime counter is off. I think with this computer, my playtime is like 2.5 times faster than the real time. On my other computer, it was perfectly lined up. I'm not sure why the playtime doesn't line up with real time. Here's another place to heal. Oh, hi there. Did you talk to Lovick outside? And can you believe that some people will just hoard items for their entire adventure instead of using them? Anyways, how about you get some rest? Lovick and I will keep watch. Did you have a nice nap? Stay as long as you like. You don't have to worry about fighting any monsters while you're inside. I am also guilty of hoarding items the whole time. But as the game levels up in difficulty, as the game increases in difficulty, maybe I'll get to force you to use some items, at least in the later stages of the game. Halts. Little girl, where are your parents, and from where do you hail? Humph, I'm not with anyone. I came here alone from the Lutz's home. I'm looking for my mother. You made it through the Southwest Forest and the Central Forest all by yourself? I've gotten pretty good at handling things on my own. What business do you have inside the kingdom of Hargoth? My mother is helping the king with an errand. I was hoping the king could tell me where I could find her. Very well. I shall bring you to the castle. Finally! Marion's devastation has been completed. That's the end of Marion's first quest. Now we switch over to Iraq. Sometimes you'll see notes on the floor, or on tables or walls, or maybe there's books, open books or closed books. Clicking on those types of notes and books can potentially help you with some additional information. According to these notes, the most powerful healers in the land work alongside the royal family. That's just an allusion to what we're going to be working on with Iraq's primary quest. It was good to catch up with you, bud. You too, Wade. Maybe I'll see you again. I don't think this region will be relevant in the later stage of the game, but I guess only time will tell. Sometimes you say the weirdest things. You should rest a moment to regain all your strength. So again, you can heal right before we exit this little cabin and go out into a place with random encounters. Thanks, Walt. Time for me to head out. And this person I added, mainly because I like the movie Good Will Hunting. You sure you don't need anything else? I'm good, Will. Thank you. Back to hunting for some medicine. There's a little bit more randomness here. I got some good feedback about how to redesign this very small area. Climb the Icer Range at your own risk, as the winds here are extremely brisk. A warm woolly coat should be your fender, or else you might concede Icer render. If you make it all the way to the top, at our cabin you should stop. We'll let you rest and fully recover. Signed, all three of the Avalanche brothers. I have two younger brothers as well, so the three Avalanche brothers at top is also a little bit of a reference to my brothers and me. So, another battle encounter, we got the blue Zuffies here. You'll notice that unless there's a critical hit, it'll take Iraq 3 hits to actually finish off the Zuffie here. Implying, okay, well there's the crit. But the implication being, in most cases, Iraq hits less than Marion, but actually takes less damage. If you click on this person right here, they'll tell you that you should be heading eastwards. Iraq, what are you still doing here? Just looking for some remedies for Rania. Now, I intended her name to be pronounced Rania, but most of my beta testers say Renea, and I kind of like them both. So I might actually go back and forth between Rania and Renea, depending on whatever I'm feeling. Iraq, I think you need to head back to the village immediately. What's the rush? Everything will be okay. Please head east to Everfrost Village. I'll meet you in the observation room of the Red Top Residence. Alright, sheesh. So I wonder if we'll have another encounter here. Actually, let's force one. I'd like to see if I could do a 3-hit situation with Iraq here. He does take less damage than Marion did, but trading off by doing less... Oh, that's on the higher end. It's unlikely that he'll get 225s in a row. Okay, down to that 1 HP. Okay, so Iraq hits a little bit less, but that's okay. And again, no crazy gold rewards or anything like that just yet. That'll be after we get past the whole Zuffie situation. Acquired skill. Accentuate will increase the magic attack of an ally, or of yourself if you want to cast it on yourself. Again, if we're not using magic spells right now, not hugely influential, but it'll be relevant as soon as we get some other skills, which will happen pretty soon. Everfrost Village, hoping to elicit a little bit of a Christmassy, winter wonderland type feel here, especially with the music. I really liked the default music assets that RPG Maker MV had, and so I didn't actually have to make any new music or sound effects or sounds for my game. The maps and the music, I'd like to think, line up pretty well. I'll just quickly go through each of these houses. I'm in charge of the village's supply shed. If anyone runs low on reserves, they come here to pick up more. I'm taking inventory right now to make sure we have plenty of provisions. I'd rather be home reading, though. I can learn a lot from books, even if it's just reading the cover. Same goes with notes left on tables or pinned to walls. If I can reach it, then I can read it. In retrospect, maybe I should have had like a note on this very wall here, just so people could experience clicking on that note if they haven't yet. So here we've got kind of lodges, all in 2 different rows. It's our 33rd anniversary. We've taken a trip to Everfrost Village every year since we started dating. I love this place. It's our 32nd anniversary. We've taken a trip to Everfrost Village every year since we started dating. I hate this place. So at least one of them's wrong, if not both. Communication, super important, right? I haven't found a single Zuffy or Zoofer that had any gold or items for me to take. Thankfully, I know that other enemies can drop those kinds of rewards. Some of my playtesters had asked, are they supposed to be dropping items? Will this happen later on in the game? So that was just to make it clear that we're close to getting the loot and getting the rewards and getting the equipable items, but not yet. My younger brother and I are on our own. Our parents passed away years ago. It's taken us a really long time to cope, but our endurance has made us stronger. I'm going to be a great fighter one day. I want to get strong enough to explore the entire Northeast Forest, although that might take a while. We'll head into the Northeast Forest within maybe like 2 hours or so. But the eastern side of the Northeast Forest is only going to be available later on in the game when you're much, much stronger. I can't believe I lost my shield. I must have left it behind when I visited that volcano. Oh well, maybe someone else will find it and put it to good use. That'll be a reference to Mero's introduction, which will be right after we finish with Iraq. Get Iraq to the castle, and then we'll switch over to Mero. Jacinda is one of my pupils. She wishes to learn fighting techniques. Unfortunately, I don't think she will ever learn a technique that allows us to leave this room, but we'll see. Spoiler alert, eventually they do leave the room in the post-game. Danny's my mentor, although today is my day off from training. Of course, if you come back tomorrow, my dialogue will be exactly the same, so maybe I'll never actually resume my work. We're researchers from Hargoth. I'm currently studying the sleeping habits of shop owners and innkeepers, or more specifically, whether or not they ever actually stop working. Oddly enough, it appears that stores are always open for business. Anyway, the permanent residents here are doing their best to accommodate us, and they've made us feel very welcome. The 8 gray boulders around Hargoth each seem to have an eerie aura, and I'm not quite sure why. What do you want to do when we get home? Maybe just relax and open a chicken farm. Is that really so relaxing, though? Didn't some chickens attack you last week? Only because I was messing with them. Obviously a reference to Link and the Cuckoos in the Zelda series. Besides, I hear the chickens are incredibly wise animals. If I remember, I'll speak to a couple chickens, get some information from them, just some Easter eggs as well. I'm making a delicious dinner tonight. It has my favorite ingredients, mangoes. Lady Lu was nice enough to let me pick 3 ripe mangoes from her trees. Apparently, the next set of 3 mangoes won't ripen until the current trio has been completely used up. When we go back to the Lut's orchard/backyard to pick some mangoes, you'll see we'll be able to get 3 at a time. And then the other ones won't be ripe until we use all 3 of the ones we currently are holding. Up here are 2 twins. Plum and I have lived in Everfrost our whole lives, playing music together. I love playing my harp. And this one's name is Bamboo. Bamboo and I have lived in Everfrost Village our whole lives, playing music together. I love playing my lyre. Lyre? Fun-ish fact, I'm pretty sure Bamboo and Plum are translations of the 2 Twinrova witches in the Zelda series. I think they're pronounced either Kawume, Kawum, Kotake, Kotake, something like that. I think their translations come out to Plum and Bamboo. Also here, the Sidbo Chateau. Sidbo, I just combined Sid from Final Fantasy Everything and Chocobo from Final Fantasy Everything. In an isolated corner of the Hargoth territory is our Everfrost village in all its snowy glory. The residents are quiet, but they happily prepare for tourists or trainers who want to stay there. Everfrost Village is, if anything, the name's a reference to Everfrost Peak from Diddy Kong Racing, as well as Frosty Village, also from Diddy Kong Racing. There's only one room that matters right now, and it's not this one. And of course, it's always going to be the middle one, right? Again, you can see some symmetry here. Some symmetry here, a lot of symmetry here. This is the same person we talked to earlier who was standing in our way. Jirio has been watching over Rania for some time now. Jirio in blue here. Jirio's a reference. The name is a reference to a Quest 64 character who gives you some wings. Quest 64 is my guilty pleasure game. Not a great JRPG, but it was probably one of the first ones I played growing up, and I kind of have a soft spot for it, despite its many, many flaws. You need to speak with him, but first you seem exhausted. Please take a quick nap to regain your strength. I don't mind having all these healing opportunities early on in the game. Obviously, there'll be fewer, and they'll be further between as you proceed into later stages of the game and dungeons and whatnot. I hope that helped a little. These two people are sad. I thought it might be lupus, but it's never lupus. Yes, a reference to the TV show House. Rania. You should probably let Rania rest. The original sprite of her character didn't have her eyes closed, and one of my playtesters pointed out that her eyes were not closed, so I closed them. Alright. Please come. How is she doing? Is she just resting now? Has she eaten anything? Has she asked for me? Has she said anything at all? Arak, you've been gone for days. Only to find more medicine. I'm back now. Arak, I don't think medicine will help. Then I'll go find another solution. I'll head to the castle. I'm sure the royal family could help. If that's what you want. A new main quest has been added to your journal. Again, the same setup. Arak Citadel. Speak to everyone you encounter, and have Arak meet with the royal family so that he can discuss obtaining medicine for Rania. So we're heading him over to the castle as well. We're done in this area for now. We'll go back through the Icer range, maybe hit like one more encounter, maybe avoid the encounters, we'll see. For the shot. Scratchy Scuff. Again, we'll just go through the attacks. I'm just really double hitting spacebar. Obviously I could click if I wanted to with my mouse or the controller. But again, there's the 3 hits needed to actually finish off our enemy, because Arak hits a little bit less. His physical attack and defense aren't quite as great as the magic setup. Over here you'll see a chest, which you can't get to yet. There's a little energy here blocking us. This strange arcane magic is blocking access to the treasure chest. Head through this very short place. Here's where there's 2 blue zuppies at a time. Didn't expect to hit them so early in this little map. But it doesn't hurt to get a little bit more of a level up. It will take 3 hits each, unless I crit, which should be nice. Oh, maybe it's on the higher end. There is some variance between the hits. Obviously, you're not going to hit the same thing every single time. It's not going to be 24 all the time or 23 all the time. I put in, I think, like 10% variation in most attacks. And of course, getting a critical hit like that was super helpful. Maybe I'll end up with another battle, another random encounter. Yeah. Arak got the upper hand. His TP, his special TP ability, removes all debuffs and status ailments from all allies. This will be really useful because there's a lot of those throughout the game. Debuffs are when your stats are decreased. So lowering agility, lowering luck, lowering physical attack, physical defense, magic attack, or magic defense. Using Citadel can remove all of them, as well as any status ailments. There's 8 status ailments in the game, which you'll see soon. Things like poison, paralysis, confusion, charm. There's 8 of them total. I'm just going to try to escape. Oh, first try escape. Arak has started to escape, and it worked. So now I can just keep moving on. There is another boulder there. Good day. Good day to you too. Which way to the royal family? The royal family lives at the north end of Hargoth, in a castle located through the central forest. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm heading back to the loots now. Good luck. We'll talk to that guard again later. When we head back to the, once the loot's other rooms are open. Let's see if we have to fight the 3 green zuppies. Let's see if we have to fight any pink and purple zoofers, or if we can get through the top half. Cool. Let's move on through here. Excuse me, sir. Yes? Is the castle open for visitors? I believe so. I was just given an order to fill a crater east of Old Providence Town. You can kind of see that down here at the bottom right. It's currently blocked off. I'm heading there now. Good luck. Thank you. The crater down here will be removed. Thanks to that guard, Edel. Arak Citadel has been completed. So 2 down. Technically 2 to go, although the 4th one will meet us at the castle, so we don't have to repeat 4 times. We're just going to repeat 3 times. With a bam! And a kapow! And a zap zap zap! And that, everybody, is how I beat up the baddies. Even apprentices can be strong, but you gotta be smart too. Any questions? Lady Mero, what spells did you use? Were you scared? Will we become as strong as you? I'll be as strong as her. I'll be even stronger. Lady Mero! What's going on, Zels? Again, a Quest 64 reference. Zels is one of the bosses in that game. It's... Zera. She... Slow down, what about Zera? Zera is... missing. Zera, a StarCraft reference to Zeratul. She went to the volcano yesterday and never returned. She went to Mortal Magma Mountain? Why would she go and do that? Some friends of hers had been chased at the volcano, but were chased... Some friends of hers had been at the volcano, but were chased down the mountain by the monsters. They left behind their gear. They told Zera, and she promised to collect everything for them. I know she's good at taking care of herself, but she knows better than to go exploring without first telling me. She's so stubborn, so rude. Let me go find her. See you, everyone. Don't wait up. So Mero's leaving her class to go off on a little rescue mission right now. Now, where could she be? If I find anything useful along the way, I'm totally keeping it as payback for my troubles. You actually can't leave here until you do rescue Zera. I need to save Zera. If I find anything useful along the way, I'm totally keeping it as payback for my troubles. The rocks and sand and dangerous fire can make for a substitute funeral pyre. Avoid all the lava and magma and cracks, and travel up north for a bit to relax. Take shelter from monsters and creatures and beasts, or else, like the others, we'll find you deceased. Mortal Magma Mountain is an active volcano, so if you're not ready, you have to just say no. Before I go north to, actually enter into that hut, let's open up some chests. Mini tonic obtained. It's now, since it's Mero's turn and we have a little bit more experience with how the battle system works and some other aspects of Mary and Iraq, I felt like it was appropriate to start introducing items, things that are equipable, things that are usable in battle, weapons and armor. I have enough. Well, I'm getting a Spellbound Cane now, and I have a shield, but first I want to actually engage in a battle naked, without any items equipped yet, any gear equipped yet. Just to show how much damage Mero tends to take. So, less damage dealt, and more damage taken. I think Iraq only took like 4 damage or something. But again, Mero's going to need 3 hits, and just a reasonable 3 hits, not like a critical is going to automatically win or anything of that nature. So, Mero is the weakest physically of the 4 characters. Pretty low physical attack and pretty low physical defense. But again, this is where you're getting some equipable items, equipable gear, and so when you actually equip them, you'll be able to, at least early on, to pretty much wreck everyone who you'd fight against early on. That actually dealt 29 damage. Or 21 damage, sorry. A crit, which was overkill at that point. There's a level up. So full health. She got startled to lower someone's physical defense if using some physical attacks. I'm going to equip... Well, I'll just click Optimize. I'm going to equip the Spellbound Cane. You can see the difference here. Increases physical attack by 5, which is a pretty low number, but given that her physical attack started at 8, it's a pretty large percentage increase, right? From 8 to 13. Adding another 5 is like a 62.5% increase. And magic attack increases too, not that she's casting spells just yet. So, it's a pretty useful stat boost this early in the game. The Kite Shield focuses more on physical defense. Increase the physical defense so she won't be taking nearly as much damage. She also has a round shield that she can be put on because she just picked one up too, but we don't need the magic defense right now, so I don't need to switch between kite and round. I'll just keep the kite shield on. You'll see that now when I verse another red Zuffy, I'll basically be invincible. But first, let's just chat with Zera, make sure everything's okay here. Mero, is that you? Zera, what are you doing out here all alone? That's so... Stubborn and rude, I know. I was out looking for my friend's gear and then I decided to rest here a bit. It's no big deal, really. I'll head home soon. Do you want to join me and go adventuring? We could even go battling together. Nah, I'm not a playable character. I don't know what that means, but after I'm done exploring, I'm going to head back to my students. Let me rest here first to make sure I'm in tip-top shape. Writing the dialogue for Mero, using words like Lemmy or tip-top or stubborn and rude or ending most of her ing words with I and apostrophe was very difficult to consistently do. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple words where I forgot to actually change things like kicking to kickin' or writing to writin'. Okay, Zara, you head back now. I'll go searching for baddies in gear. Again, the and the searching. You got it. See you later. Probably not. My role in this game is incredibly minor. But hey, at least I was given a name. So I want to get into another fight just to show how much damage I can do now that I'm actually wearing or using the Spellbound Cane and a shield. So this is how much damage I do now. Okay, that was a crit. Let's do... Well, I guess we'll fight a few more when we get into the Central Forest, but I would like to fight one more time and not just auto-kill with the critical hit. There we go. So 42 base damage with some variants. I didn't even take any damage because of my shield. Obviously, this is only useful for like the Zuffies early on. As soon as you get into battle with some, real monsters that actually drop rewards and are stronger, the gear will be necessary and not just a luxury to instantly kill everyone. Mission accomplished, easy peasy. I'm sure my students will want to hear all about what happened. Hey everyone, what's going on? Wait till I tell you about the volcano. Lady Marrow, so nice of you to return. Director Hartania? What are you doing here? Can you please explain why you left your class without supervision again? Zara needed my help, and specifically your help? Or could Zara have been helped by others? I guess someone else could have helped her. Lady Marrow, you are supposed to be responsible for your students and present in your classroom. When your cousin gets in trouble, you need to let others handle it. We've talked about this many times. I know, I'm sorry. Me too. If you can't make responsible decisions, then I can't have you working here. What? That's unfair. You can't be jeopardizing your students, especially when someone else can handle rescue missions for you. Our academy is under a tent in front of an active volcano. Do you really think me leaving the kids is the biggest safety issue here? That doesn't mean that you should make things even more dangerous for them. As the director, I need to have teachers who will prioritize their students' safety. Fine. Lady Marrow, you left me with no choice. I'm sorry, but you can't be a teacher here. I don't know what we'll do without you, although I guess it doesn't really matter as long as we're back in the same spots by the time you return to Hotfoot Hut. It's so unfair that you're leaving us. I'm going to protest by never changing my outfit or my facial expression. I'm in shock. Aw, keep your head up. No, I mean I literally can't move unless it's to react to your presence. This is such a huge mistake, Lady Marrow. Nope, I think they're right. Hartania's making the correct decision. No, I mean you're not overly sexualized despite being a female protagonist. What are you talking about? Never mind. You'll come back and visit, right? Yes, of course I'll visit. Each of these notes say something as well. This page has notes from yesterday's lesson, with the words Hargoth Baddies written at the top. Judging by how much is written here, it seems like the student was working hard in class. There are even annotations and footnotes. These notes are remarkably neat and organized. CM Heart AS. That's just a shout out to my wife. What does that even mean? There are just random doodles here. A little bit of Kirby fighting. You'll actually see CM and AS a few times, just in certain dungeons. This sheet looks like it's filled with notes, but upon closer inspection, it's really just a checklist of things to do after class is over. This paper contains a detailed drawing of you. Creepy. Besides the student's name and today's date, there isn't anything written on this paper, even though class was 40 minutes long. A study of recruits and rascals. You know it's a good read considering you wrote it. The books you say in the classroom for the benefit of the students, even if you can't. This book is opened up to a page about weaponry. And again, everything should stay in the classroom, even if you can't. Gear and items. Light and Dark Apprentices, two sides of the same magic coin. A little bit of an allusion to some of the different skills that both Marrow and Arak will learn. Marrow starts off as a Dark Apprentice, Arak starts off as a Light Apprentice, but there will be some overlap with some of the skills, some of the attacks they end up using. I could go back into Mortal Magma Mountain if I want to, but there's really no reason for me to. So what if Director Hartania is in charge? They don't know what it's like to be me. They're so rude, so stubborn. By the way, Hartania goes by they, their, them. Doesn't actually change whether or not we can actually understand any of the dialogue whatsoever. It's actually pretty easy to respect other people's pronouns. I know they made the right decision, though. What am I supposed to do now? With no academy and no students, I don't know what to do with myself. Maybe I could do some good around Hargoth if anyone needs some teaching or saving. Maybe the king can help me. It's settled then. Let's find a silver lining and talk to the king about helping out. A new main quest has been added to your journal. Again. Available. Merrow's Alacrity. Speak to everyone you encounter and have Merrow meet with the king so that she might be able to help and teach in Hargoth. Right, here are the ones we've completed. Most tutorials will be auto-completed just based on having that conversation. You can always click the tutorial to see more information, like how to escape from battle, and any quests that you've done before. Everything's logged in the All Quests tab, though, whether it's been completed, like Marion, Iraq, and Escape, or whether it's still in progress, like Merrow. I'm just going to walk through Old Providence Town right now. We'll be spending a lot more time here later on. Yeah, there's no reason to talk about it right now. Actually, I want to point out this guy, because this guy will disappear. What are you looking at? And that's it. Let's go back through the forest. This will be pretty easy now that I'm pretty well equipped. Alright, let's just knock these out. The TP bar is full. You'll take a look at... I might as well use her full TP attack now just to show you what happens. Again, not taking any damage. Obviously, if this were a harder fight, I'd probably be a little bit more strategic. Merrow's special TP ability. Casts multiple random debuffs and status ailments on all enemies. So it's kind of the opposite of Iraq's Citadel. Let's use it. Let's see what debuffs and status ailments the enemies end up taking. So we got some sleep going on here. We got some confusion. In fact, if you hover over any of the characters, any of the enemies, you can see at the very top, it'll say what their debuffs are. So this Green Zuffy B has lower agility. Here we've got blindness, so lowers the accuracy of the attacks, more likely to miss. Lower agility, lower luck. Here we've got confusion, lower magic attack, magic defense, and poison. So it doesn't really matter what we're doing here. I'll just finish. Oh, the confusion killed one of their own enemies. That's kind of convenient. Confusion might attack themselves. Cool. And we'll just finish up with Zuffy. Level 3. Again, more HP. Starting to get other stats, too. Let's just keep moving through here. Let's... Actually, yeah, we'll do a fight with the purple and pig zoopers later on. We'll talk to Edel again. Lady Merrow, is that you? By the way, I have no idea which voices I've been using for any characters. I'm sure I'll be scrolling through 20 different tones of voices for the same characters over and over again. Lady Merrow, Lady Merrow, Lady Merrow, Lady Merrow, is that you? Hiya, Edel. How's it going? Great, milady. What do you need from me? I'm wondering if there's a spot for me in Hargoth for teaching and all that. Let me in so I can talk to the king. Of course. The castle is due north of the entrance, and once you're done there, I'm sure the townsfolk of Hargoth would love to chat with you. By the way, if you hold down spacebar, or the left-click button, or whatever controller button is assigned to confirming or clicking yes or selecting things, if you hold them down, you can scroll through dialogue faster, you can scroll through cutscenes faster. There's nothing wrong with doing that if things are taking a while in your opinion. Great, 3 different voices now. Hiya! Who are you? You look familiar. Wait a second. Are you Lady Merrow? That's totally me. Merrow is fine, pretty please. Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, Merrow. My name is Iraq from Everfrost Village. Iraq? That's an interesting name. Yeah, it's pronounced like the beginning of the word arachnid. I guess my parents thought it'd be easy to pronounce, but based on watching streams of beta testers, it's apparently not. I couldn't help but put this in because there were a variety of different ways that Iraq was being pronounced, like Arch or Arach or Archie or a whole bunch of other things. Oh, okay. Anyways, I'm Marion. Nice to meet you. Marion, are you from Everfrost too? No, she isn't. We've only just met. Mary and I have both come to see the king. Yeah, except they won't let us in. What else is new? What do you mean they won't let you in? They're not letting anyone in. We don't know why we can't get in, but we need to see the king. Those guards are so stubborn. Some people are so rude. Maybe they would listen to you, Mero. Why would they listen to her? And here's our fourth playable character. I have no idea what voice to do for Sprig. Can I help you three? Hiya! We were hoping to see the king. I'm sorry, but that's impossible right now. Listen, we need to say, geez, I'm just going through all these voices, just is part fun and part embarrassing. Listen, we need to see the king right away. It's a matter of life and death. It's no use. Excuse me, but what is your name? My name's Mero, why do you ask? I thought so. Your reputation precedes you. Mero, please follow me. Wait a sec. What is it? Can my friends come too? Very well. You heard him, let's go. You mean us? Of course, silly. What are you waiting for? Follow that guard. I guess that guard can help us after all. Little throne room area. Greetings, Queen Mackenzie. This is Mero and her friends. They may be able to help us. Thank you, Sprig. We'll gladly take all the help we can get. Queen Mackenzie, it is an honor to meet you. You see, all three of us have come to Hargoth to actually speak with... Are you the ones who are going to find my daddy? Music stops. Looking right at you. It is true, my husband King Guffin is missing. He left with a caravan of advisors, but they all seem to have disappeared. Were there any powerful healers accompanying him? Yes, why do you ask? Well, I was wondering if... You'll find Dad for us, right? Sure, we all need to talk to him anyway, and his caravan. Why don't we just wait here for his return? Then again, my mother might be with him. And I guess I could use an adventure. I'm sure that helping out the Queen would take my mind off teaching for now, but we have no idea where to look. I have a lead, Your Majesty. Several reports have confirmed seeing King Guffin in the east near the city of Pitha before his mysterious disappearance. Sprig, will you take Mero and... I'm sorry, but I don't know your names. Arak, at your service. Marion. Sprig, will you take Mero, Arak, and Marion and find my husband? It would be our honor, Your Majesty. Marion, Mero, Arak. Thank you. What are you thanking us for? We haven't even found him yet. Plus, we all have our own reasons for wanting the king back. So to be clear, the king's name is Guffin, and the queen's name is Mackenzie, or Mac for short. And in case you weren't aware, a MacGuffin is essentially the arbitrary plot device used to further the storyline of a movie, or a video game, or a book. So in this case, the MacGuffin is to literally go find King Guffin. Let's go already. Very well, let's head east towards Pitha. Mero's alacrity has been completed. A new main quest has been added to your journal. So now we've got the... I like the follow the leader trailing, the 4 here. You do not have the option to turn off the followers, but there will be some dungeons where the followers will auto-turn off for various reasons, like to avoid traps, to kind of make your way through dangerous areas. So now we've got Sprig, Marion, Mero, and Arak. You can change the formation if you want to have Mero be the leader or something. You can absolutely do that. I'm always accustomed to having my physical tank warrior go first, and then the agile luck-based physical attacker, and then dark mage and light mage. So I'm just going to keep it in this order. I think this is probably a good place to stop for my first episode. I'm going to save. We've got everyone. You can see here Sprig's level 1, but that's not a huge deal because Sprig has pretty high physical defense compared to the others. He can tank a little bit. The biggest issue is going to be the fact that his HP is only at 100, whereas the other characters have 200. But within a few battles, it won't be a big deal at all. So the fact that Sprig starts at level 1 doesn't mean he's necessarily going to get picked off very early. We're going to call it a day now, and then we'll pick up where we left off for the second episode, where we'll go through the castle. We'll go through the city of Hargoth, which is really just a reference to Haragoth in Diablo 2, Act 5. I'll show you some shortcuts about getting mangoes and their rewards pretty fast. And then we'll probably have more than enough time to go through the basement and complete some other important mainline quests. So that'll be all logged into episode 2. This is going to be the end of episode 1. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more clips about Mango Mischief, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. The Steam link for my game, as well as all Mango Mischief social media links, are posted in this video's description. I think you'll enjoy my satirical, retro-style, turn-based JRPG, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section below. Thanks!